Common Senster, thank you so much for watching today's video, and thank you for subscribing to Common Sense Mamita on YouTube. Today I have the pleasure, the joy, and the honor to introduce to you cast members from Stand and Deliver and our own casting director. So I want to go around the table and just introduce everybody real quick so you know who's here. We got Danny Villarreal, who played the Finger Man.
Hello.
We have Will Gauthier, who played Pancho. Me, Lydia Nicole, who played Rafaela. I forgot who I played. Tony Livingston Hicks, who was our casting director.
Yay, Tony.
Patrick Baca, who played
Javier.
Javier.
Know it all.
And Victor Garcia, who played Eddie's son in the movie.
Jaime Jr.
Jaime Jr. Well, I wanted to bring everybody to the table. I only got some people, but it's a good, the table is only but so big.
Yeah, we would need a bigger table.
One of the things that I want to start it off by is asking the casting process. What did you go through casting Stand and Deliver?
Okay. The most interesting part about this process was we got hired on the premise that we would be willing to go into the barrio and look for unknowns. And I said, you mean the barrio high schools? Because that's what we need. He said, yes. Okay. So we agreed so that we got the job, right? So then I had to go set up meetings with teachers and high schools in East LA to go find real kids, because that's what our passionate director wanted. So
Ramon Menendez.
Ramon Menendez.
Yay!
Yes.
Ramon.
So we did. We had 3 schools set up, and it was obvious. Okay, mind you, these kids know nothing about acting. And so here is this person giving them things to read and kind of memorize and then come in and do something for us. And I said, okay, they're all so freaked out, I can't do this. Let's try a little improv. Let's pretend you're in class and your teacher comes in. Mm-hmm. Let's see what you would do. They sat there. They didn't want to do anything. They were scared out of their minds. I said, okay, Ramon, this is not working, as you can see. He goes, well, where are those? And he said, where are those actors? I said, they're not here. They're these kids are in high school. And yes, while one day, I did in Illinois, I did find a kid. It was amazing. He was a natural. And, so it can happen. It just was not happening for us. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, let me just suggest that there are actually Hispanic actors in Hollywood that have been playing nothing but gang members for the last 5 years. Maybe we could give them a chance to play smart kids. Mm-hmm. They can act. They've had experience, and let's give them a chance. And he goes, do you think that would work? I said, well, I think that's what we need to try.
And we all thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. And thank you, Tom, because, Ramon was like, okay, I'll see what we have. I said, well, this was my chance. This was my chance to get all those kids in and give them actual lines that they can say, and he was amazed. Okay, he was amazed. Now then, the other problem we had was they're supposed to be high school kids, sophomore to senior, and by then we had, as soon as we had Lou Diamond Phillips, who wanted to do the role. Now he's playing a high school kid, and Lou was not, he was older than high school, and so I said, now that we have Lou, I have to find you the youngest looking kid I can, so we had that we can get a balance. Somebody answered an ad from a paper. She sent me her high school senior picture and a letter stating that she thought she was Anna, and that was Vanessa. Mm-hmm. And I saw that picture, and she looked 12. I said, oh my goodness, and she's a senior, So I brought her in, and the rest was history on that girl. She just knew what to do. She was Anna. She was that shy little thing, but she was not shy about reading in front of anyone. When Eddie came in for the callbacks, he was there, and everybody just looked and said, oh my goodness, So which proves a little bit that Ramon could have been right, but
Right.
she'd already graduated, and you have to search. You have to have time to do that kind of a search with high school kids that have never, read for a casting director before. You can't just call and say, "Can you just bring me some kids?" So then what we did was we were able to cast various looks that made it look like they were all part of the same class. That was the hardest thing to do. It really was.
Weren't there like 7 callbacks or 8 callbacks? Like just lining everybody up together?
Because the director, he had a hard time communicating a lot of things.
Ramon?
So he didn't. Yes, Ramon. No, he didn't. He didn't quite know what to ask for.
Yes.
I mean, and a casting director should have. I mean, you try to have enough time in the to prepare them and to say. But and usually directors, after they see 3 or 4 actors, I get an idea of what they're looking for, so I can prep the next 3 coming in. And with him, he was not communicating. What are you looking for? And to me, the people that I brought in exemplified the characteristics of the character. Shy, confident.
Mm-hmm.
Do I really want to be here? Shouldn't I do something else? I sort of had an idea, and I was just, I didn't understand what he really wanted. And it wasn't until when Eddie Olmos came, he knew what he was looking for, and he convinced him. He said, I need that guy. That's the guy.
I want to talk to you because you were a PA, right?
That's right.
When it started. And so you were watching all these auditions. What was your takeaway from it?
Well, it kind of goes along with what you're saying. Like, Ramon was looking for something, and he didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
None of us did,
Yeah.
But as we went along, we saw it. It started coming in. When you came in, that was like, that's the guy. Yeah, of course, when Vanessa came in, it was like, we got to have her, But all of us were a little older. I was 27, when we did that movie.
So was I.
I was 26.
So it was
we knew how old you were, so we knew how old.
Right.
So it was like, you have to balance it. I mean, Carla had that face. She had that sweet little, she had a young face. So so we have to have that.
Yeah.
Vanessa had that. So we had to make sure, and he actually had that really young face.
Me
So
too.
we
I had
could
it too.
I don't know about you. But it was a really good mix. It wasn't like Welcome Back, Kotter, because everybody
Right,
looks like
right.
they're
Yeah.
80, But it really worked out.
Yeah.
And then also what I saw along the lines of what you're saying, being behind the camera, taping the auditions, was that I think we pretty much saw every young actor
We did.
in LA, in Hollywood, and wherever they were. I mean,
did.
everybody came in. Remember the Estevez kids? They all came in.
Really?
Ramon, yeah.
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 So
That was my first film.
was it?
Yeah, it was my first film.
So it was great. It was great just narrowing it down, and finally it did take a bit of time.
And I never asked Lou how he found out about it. He knew about Jaime, and he somehow he must have contacted Eddie, because Lou was not a star when he did
He had
that.
just done
he
La Bamba.
had
Right.
done
It had
he had
been
done it,
released.
but it hadn't been
Right.
released.
Right.
Hadn't somebody seen the film at a festival?
We
And
went to a
called
screening.
him?
We went to a screening of
Screening.
Of La
like a
Bamba.
private screening of La Bamba.
So Ramon did,
For
or,
the director,
or Eddie, or
yeah.
Eddie Olmos.
For the producer, the director.
Okay, so Ramon
They had
did.
seen it.
Yeah.
So they knew what
And
was
he was
coming
and he
Oh,
was
yeah.
in his
and,
career.
They had-
They knew what.
They
yeah.
had to have him.
Yeah.
And our friend was Andy Garcia, and we knew that if Andy read the script, he knew about, and
Oh,
he
wow.
knew about Jaime, he would want to do it.
That was
And
great.
it was before Untouchables, and before,
Right.
so we knew he was going to be big. So that was
Yeah.
going to help
Yeah.
the movie too. I mean,
Yeah.
we were doing this for American Playhouse.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Lindsay
Now,
Lohan.
okay, so
Lindsay
so
Lohan.
that brings me to, I didn't want to go there that quickly,
Okay.
but it brings me to a question. Did you know when you were doing it for American Playhouse that Warner Brothers had bought it?
No, it wasn't.
No, that was
No,
way.
it was
way
after.
No, wait a second.
No.
When the film came out, I sat with people at Warner Brothers who said they had already made the deal. Before that, yes, they had.
Before Mill
They-
Valley?
They had already made before.
Oh.
They had already, they knew this was going to be a big movie, but they funneled it through American Playhouse.
I
Yeah.
didn't know about that.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So anyway,
Yeah.
a little tidbit.
I worked at a film company, and one of the women I worked with's husband worked at Warner Brothers in publicity. And when I had mentioned something to her, she knew that I was acting, and I said something about Stand and Deliver, and she was like, "Oh, that's really nice." And then she kind of like walked away. Like a week later, she hunted me down, and she says, "You were in that movie, right, with all the Latinos?" Like, yeah.
The Latino.
And I said, well, "Yeah, we kind of talked about it yesterday." And she told me that they made a deal at that point, that they saw it once, and some deal was made, but all of a sudden I became royalty because Warner Brothers picked it up. So, and I thought it was in the springtime. When did it release? I don't even remember when this film
Springtime.
released.
Springtime.
Was it
Yeah.
springtime?
Yeah.
So this was
No,
around.
actually, it didn't release till the winter.
So Warner Brothers.
So Warner Brothers picked it up.
Yeah,
early.
But not,
It came
not
out-
after Mill Valley?
When
I thought it was a negative
was Mill
pickup
Valley.
based on
Technically.
the Mill
Because
Valley.
originally it was American Playhouse.
Right.
Yeah.
It was called Walking on Water.
Walking on
Right.
water, right.
And they only had like a little bit of money.
Right.
And then Tom brought in money from Arco and Pepsi.
Right,
remember that.
right.
I
I remember
You
that.
know, they matched that money.
Mhm.
But the studios had passed on
But
it.
that's how they got scale plus
Right.
10.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
It was
well,
American
below
Playhouse.
scale plus 10.
Yeah.
It was below. We did it for below scale plus 10 because it was the first time I'd ever work on a project that I heard. Because I'm a minority, I get paid less.
It was
than
favored
scale.
nations.
It was
No,
favored
but-
nations, though.
No, it was below. Because I remember being stunned at the fact that
The rate was a little lower.
it was very low. I had worked on other projects
low
and I
budget rate.
couldn't
So it was favored
understand.
nations at whatever
At a low
the
budget
agreement
rate.
was.
Yeah.
Right.
Low
Yeah, it's like
budget
a
Right.
rate.
lower-
Okay,
Right.
yeah,
You're right.
lower-
You're right.
Right.
American
The
Playhouse.
low
Right.
budget agreement.
Yeah,
too.
which is
Yeah,
still in
yeah.
existence
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, it is.
So,
It
but
is.
at that point, I had never heard of that.
Right.
You know, it was. I thought that was one of the terrible things that SAG did to the actors
Right.
by saying, as an actor of color, you're not good enough to get paid regular.
Scale.
Right.
Regular
So
dollars.
we're
Well,
just, you know, so
it's
if you
worse
hire
now.
so many, if you hire so
Oh.
many actors of color, we're gonna give you a deal. You get that special clearance.
Well, let's
Right.
not even go there. You know, you,
No, but
you have a,
yeah, but when
a
you're
star making
working,
20 million and then everybody else making
Right.
scale.
Yeah.
but not
Right
even
on
scale.
balance.
All I'm
Yeah.
saying is that it wasn't even scale. That's all I'm saying. And
Yeah.
it was.
It
I
was-
remember
it was a
going.
lot for me.
I remember going into the first audition and thinking this is going to be a huge movie.
Really?
I
Really? From the first
absolutely
audition?
from
Oh,
the
wow.
first time I read it, I said this is going to be a huge
That's what
movie.
I thought when I
There
first
was
read it.
there I never looked at it like, oh, this is a PBS thing. I kept going, this ain't PBS. This is a movie.
No, it's like we had been waiting for this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it came.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I read it, I was like, whatever you guys need,
Yeah.
I'll do.
I knew it was
Yeah.
special. I didn't
Yeah.
think it was going to have the legs that it has had, that it would
Yeah.
become a classic.
Yeah.
That I had no idea.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But
Well,
it
then
really
Eddie
has.
would get recognized. I didn't
Yeah.
know if Eddie would
Yeah.
get recognized.
I knew he would get recognized
Yeah.
too, because I remember reading
That was exciting.
it going, this is Oscar material.
Mhm.
That part.
I remember, I thought it was one of the best scripts that I had written just in general. It just read
wrote it?
so
You
well.
read. You read. She had
You
read.
read.
No, I read that I read. It was
Well-
thank you. One of the best read scripts,
Yeah.
written scripts that I had read.
Yeah.
So it really, I was very impressed by it.